Every once in a while, a collaboration comes along that just makes sense. This is the Brew Teddy Baldassarre edition, the first watch that Teddy has ever put his name on. And the moment I saw it, it just clicked because this watch is the product of two of the nicest and most genuinely supportive people in the entire watch industry, Teddy Baldassarre and Jonathan Ferrer, the founder and designer of Brew. And for me, this release is surprisingly personal. I've known Jonathan for almost a decade, back when Brew was tiny and I was still a lawyer with an Instagram page. And Teddy, he invited me to Cleveland to film the very first interview inside his brick and mortar store when my YouTube channel was barely getting started. He didn't need the exposure, I did, but he still opened his doors anyway. So when these two decided to work together, it honestly felt inevitable. And that's why this watch is not just a collab, it's a story. Before we get into the details of the watch, we need to talk about why this collaboration matters on a bigger level. Teddy could have collaborated with anyone. Tudor, Grand Seiko, Longines, all of these brands would have jumped at the opportunity. And if he had said yes to these brands, the watch would have been a guaranteed hit. It also would have cost thousands of dollars, which means most of the people who genuinely follow him and trust him wouldn't have been able to buy it. And that's exactly why this collaboration is so meaningful. Instead of partnering with a big luxury brand, Teddy chose Brew, an affordable brand, and a brand whose journey mirrors his own. Brew didn't start with big backing. It was Jonathan sketching designs after work and building slowly through creativity. Teddy built his channel the same way, one video at a time, one viewer at a time, without shortcuts. This is really a collaboration rooted in community, not in status, not in marketing, not in hype, just community. And for me personally, the connection runs even deeper. Teddy has supported Ren multiple times, including featuring us in the very first video he did with Kevin O'Leary ranking microbrands. We came in second, and that was a huge moment for us. Jonathan has been just as supportive. When we launched the Ren Diver 1 Magma, he bought one to support what we were building. He didn't even tell me he was buying one. The order just showed up in my email. These are two genuinely good people who have been good to me and generally supportive of the industry and small creators and brands as a whole. And the fact that they chose each other for their first collaboration just feels right. Now let's talk about the watch itself. This is the Brew Metric Teddy Baldassarre edition. It takes a familiar metric design language and makes a series of subtle, thoughtful updates that makes the watch feel a little more mature and very Teddy. The first thing that you notice is the dial. It's a matte dark blue that gives the watch a calm, grounded personality, no gloss and shine. The surface keeps the design clean and easy to read while also giving it some depth. The lighter blue accents bring just enough color without ever feeling loud. It's a color palette that looks intentional, not decorative. Teddy also made a few very small design changes that most people would overlook at first glance, but they show just how thoughtful he is. The chronograph seconds hand is slightly elongated, which improves both proportion and readability. The minutes and seconds hands have been updated so the tips are just a little sharper and more precise. And the subdials are now subtly sunken into the dial, which gives the watch more dimensionality without changing the overall vibe. And that's the thing about this watch. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels like it's trying too hard. The updates are small, almost quiet, but they make the watch feel more refined. And speaking of subtle, there's almost no external Teddy branding. You will not see his name on the dial or in the design. The only place it appears is on the engraved case back, and even that is done tastefully. It feels like a real collaboration between friends rather than a single product built around a signature. The case is a familiar 36mm across by 41.5mm lug to lug with a thickness of 10.75mm. It is a modern to no shape that gives the watch a little more wrist presence than the numbers might suggest. On my 6.75-inch wrist, it wears flat, balanced, and is very comfortable. It never feels too small or too large. The bracelet integrates cleanly into the case, and the case tapers sharply, making it sit low and secured on the wrist. Inside is the Seiko VK68 Mecha Quartz movement, a hybrid that gives you the accuracy and practicality of quartz with a chronograph second hand that sweeps like a mechanical movement. The VK68 is reliable, durable, and easy to service, which really matters at this price point. Speaking of price, the Brew Metric Teddy Baldassarre edition is $475. And there's an important detail about availability. This is a special edition, not a limited edition. There are no numbers engraved and no hard production cap. Brew and Teddy want as many people as possible to enjoy it. It's still probably going to sell in batches because Brew operates with controlled production, but it's not artificially scarce. Anyone who wants one should be able to get one. That decision also says something about both Teddy and Jonathan. They didn't want this watch to become a hype piece that disappears into the hands of flippers. They wanted it to be a watch for the community that built them. When you put the watch on your wrist, it makes sense immediately. The proportions feel right, the case shape gives it personality without being aggressive. The dial design is simple but expressive. It's one of those watches where the comfort and visual balance make you forget about the specifications and just enjoy wearing it. And I think that's the strength of this collaboration. It feels like Teddy, it feels like Brew, it feels like something created with intention rather than just marketing, and it carries a sense of story that most collaborations never really achieve. There's symbolism here, there's a little bit of nostalgia, and most importantly, there's community. Two independent creators who grew at the same time, two people who built something from nothing, two people who have supported the watch world and the people in it. This collaboration celebrates that, and the watch itself reflects it. So who is this for? If you're someone who has followed Teddy for years and want a piece of his journey maybe, or if you love what Brew does with color and design, and obviously if you want a chronograph with personality at an accessible price, or really if you simply appreciate when a watch represents something authentic, then this is absolutely one worth considering. So what do you think of this Teddy and Brew collaboration? Do you think this fits Teddy's persona and vibe? And if you picked one up, tell me, what do you like most about it? And if you've enjoyed this review, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.